8th straight time her team has been a #1 seed, and they are seeking their 10th straight appearance in the Sweet 16 with a win today. Susie Merchant is in her 12th season. It's been a while since they've been to the Sweet 16. It was back in 2009. They would like to change that with a win over a #1 seed. And immediately they give it to Brianna Turner down low.
And that's what has worked so well for them. Brianna Turner coming off one of her best games, but she has worked down low. See right there, being able to take the ball off the dribble. She's definitely coming to her own as a player.
That's the first foul on Coco Gaines, and Brianna Turner will step to the free throw line. First points on the board for Notre Dame. Turner is a 67% free throw shooter. She was just 1 rebound shy of a double-double on Saturday against Bethune-Cookman. Well, let's look at today's Capital One starting lineups. Michigan State. You talk about defense. Taryn McCutcheon, number 4 in green. Watch her on the other end of the floor. She is an amazing defender. And over here on the offensive end, she can shoot the 3 lights out. Gaines' shot rattles out. Rebound to Turner.
And I think if you're in Michigan State right now, you like that look right there. You like Gaines getting the ball down low, putting the pressure on Notre Dame. They've got to figure out a way to make sure that this Notre Dame team plays defense.
Shea Cawley had the game-winning shot against Central Michigan on Saturday to get the Spartans here, and it was on that side right there in the paint.
Being able to go and use her right hand, hit that layup, but that's a good sign right now. She did not shoot the ball really well, even though she ended up hitting that game-winning shot.
Marina Mabry inside, and Mabry has her first points in the NCAA tournament this year. She did not score against Bethune-Cookman on Saturday. Jenna Allen, the senior, and 1.
I love that look right there. I love Jenna Allen. Got to figure out a way to get her going early. Great look right there by Coco Gaines to find Jenna Allen.
It took Jenna Allen a little time to get going on Saturday. She's the only senior on this Michigan State team.
And she has been the engine for this Michigan State team. They know, kind of like the team had gone as she's gone, so it's really big that she was able to pick it up in that second half.
Jessica Shepard. They give it to Allen again, this time on the baseline, showing a little range.
She looked really comfortable out there, and think after Saturday's game and not being able to start the game out the way she wanted. But you know what? When we watched practice yesterday, they looked fired up. They looked ready to play yesterday.
They had a very intense practice on the day off yesterday, which was not a day off for either team. Jackie Young throws it out, and somehow Agumawale is there. The fadeaway.
Well, McCutcheon is the player to watch on the defensive end already, giving Agumawale.
Mabry will pop that 3. It's way off. Well, some of the keys for Michigan State, Susie Merchant told us they wanted to really work on their transition defense. They know how good Notre Dame is in transition. And then you got to crash the boards on the defensive end.
And it's been really important, their shot selection. And you've seen thus far, they have taken some really good quality shots. Of course, that last possession, a turnover. But you can tell they're taking their time. One of the things Coach Merchant said is, we want to run our misses, but we want to take our time on the makes. And they've done a really good job with that.
Shepard. Look at the rebound from Jenna Allen.
When you look at both teams, the focus right now is rebounds. They know that they both need to rebound the basketball, but the pace of the game is something that we talked to both coaches about.
Michigan State played a really fast game on Saturday. They didn't necessarily want to do that today because Notre Dame is so good in transition. They wanted to try to slow them down. Beautiful.
And that is what Brianna Turner does so well. But Arika Ogunbowale, she totally set that shot up. She knew the help had to come up. Throw the ball up. That's what they did all last game. That lob to Brianna Turner in the air. She's just so good up there.
Allen in the paint, pops out. For Notre Dame, Muffet McGraw talked to us about the importance of rebounding. As you've already mentioned, it's been a big factor in this game. Plus, they wanted to slow down Michigan State in transition, too, and watch out for the three ball.
Well, after watching last game in Central Michigan and Michigan State game, we saw the pace of that game and how fast. I mean, we did the first half of the game in 35 minutes.
Yeah.
The pace was one thing about it, but that's one thing Coach McGraw said. We want to play that pace, but we also want to slow it down when necessary.
Coco Gaines with the deep look. Jackie Young drives in and draws that foul.
And if that foul is on Coco Gaines, that would be her second foul. And I think the promising point of this is you bring Cooks in off the bench, who coming off of her career high, or tied to her career high, 21 points from last game.
Yeah, Sydney Cooks just checked in. She's number 10 in green. Had probably one of her best games in the first round with that career high 21 points. Michigan State has a little bit of depth down low, which they're going to need today against a very strong post presence for Notre Dame.
Well, I think you look at the difference from the bench. And Michigan State, I mean, you look at the players they were going up against even yesterday, the practice players and the bench players, and they got some big targets coming off that bench.
Jackie Young with the offensive rebound. Another chance for Notre Dame.
Notre Dame does such a great job of getting on the boards to rebound.
It will be Michigan State's ball when we come back. Still a close one in South Bend. Notre Dame leads 11-6. Dame leading by 5. We love players who love defense, and both of these teams have a couple of players that pride themselves on defense.
Growing up, my mom, she always likes to see me block shots. She's like, go block everything, go block everything. So kind of just my mom from a young age telling me to swat, block, send the shot to the 5th row. So it's really my parents there.
I really like to annoy people and just constantly make them guess where I am, and so I just found a lot of fun in that. I mean, my family told me they loved watching me play like that.
And I love that their defensive mindset comes from their family. How cool is that?
Definitely cool, and you know, it's fun when you have players like that. You look at Brianna Turner, though, and just how she has changed and being able to block shots. Because early on, she would block shots and she would block them out of bounds. Now I feel like she does a really good job of blocking them, but keeping it in play so her teammates can go on that transition game.
And over the past 48 hours, Tamika, we haven't stopped talking about Taryn McCutcheon for Michigan State. I mean, she played the entire 40 minutes on Saturday, and I could not have been more impressed with her defensive effort.
Definitely, and we called it, though. We called a couple of plays when she was guarding Hudson in the last game against Central Michigan, but I love her energy, I love her tenacity, and she can not only play defense, she can score.
Yeah, she had a steal and then went over and popped a 3. Like, no big deal. They've got her matched up with Arike Ogunbowale right now.
And that's what you'll see a lot of right there, is trying to run that flex cut. Whoever McCutcheon is guarding, trying to get a post up.
Martrika Cook called for the foul for Michigan State. Jackie Young has done a nice job of just driving in and drawing that contact.
Well, one thing that we haven't talked a lot about is all 5 of their starters average double digit. So when you're looking at Michigan State trying to go up against Notre Dame, you got to figure out which player are you going to try to help off of. You help off of one player, and you look at Jackie Young, probably the most versatile player on this Notre Dame team. She can get to the basket. She can shoot the three. She can do everything.
McCutcheon will bring it up for Michigan State. That's a travel on Cook.
Cook's trying to go a little bit too fast.
Susie Merchant's crew hasn't scored in over 4 minutes. Jessica Shepard.
Jessica Shepard has really evolved as a player, and think about her from last year to this year, and definitely a different Jessica Shepard than most people are used to seeing, but her game is a lot more finesse this year, and I think because you have the weapons around you, you don't have so much of the focus on you, and she's fitting really well with this group.
I've just loved watching her develop that chemistry with Brianna Turner down low. They now kind of can anticipate what the other one is going to do next, and that's really helped them work.
Well, you missed Brianna Turner last year. She was out with the torn ACL, so coming back, and Jessica Shepard was the focus down low, like get her the ball down low all last year. Now you got to figure out a way. How do you work with another post player? But they have done a great job. The high-low game that they have. I mean, we've seen Brianna Turner just jump in the air and tip the ball in. That's what they have done so well with each other.
Jackie Young again taking it in. Gets the roll to go. Jackie Young already has 7.
As this game goes on today, you'll see Jackie Young. She will play basically the 1 through the 4 position at any point during this game.
It's the Young show right now.
She's feeling it.
Susie Merchant's got to call timeout. It's all Jackie Young. Notre Dame with its largest lead.
And what can you say? Can't say enough about Jackie Young, able to get to the hole at any point in time. But look at this, in and out to the basket. Count it.
Jackie Young is one of those stars, hails from Princeton, Indiana, and Notre Dame has had a lot of great players from the state of Indiana. Of course, Ruth Riley, who's going into the Hall of Fame this summer, she was a pretty great player. Naismith Trophy winner, won an NCAA title. Jacqueline Batiste started 97 straight games at one point for Notre Dame, and then, of course, Skylar Diggins, 3 Final Fours to her name. And how about Jackie Young? Won a national championship last year.
Yes, and all exciting players to watch. And, of course, can't say enough about Ruth Riley and just what she meant to our game overall. I mean, going into the Hall of Fame, that is a big deal. Call it HOFer.
There's been a lot of great players from the state of Indiana who have worn that Notre Dame uniform, and now we're getting to watch Jackie Young.
And Jackie said that she can remember, even as a little girl, always watching Notre Dame and having this as a dream of hers to come to this school and represent. So it's always good when your dreams come true.
And the question is, will we see her in a Notre Dame uniform next year? That's going to be with Michigan State.
And you're a little concerned right now. Literally, Kali is the only player in green down there battling for the rebounds. And one of the things, the emphasis that Coach Merchant said, she was going to send 3 people back to stop Notre Dame transition game. But you also got to be a little concerned. You got to get on the boards on the offensive end too to try to create second chance opportunities.
Wow, Michigan State has only made 2 of its last 12 shot attempts.
I think a big thing they need to do is what they were doing in the beginning of the game. Be patient on offense, set up the offense, move the ball. Notre Dame is in their zone. Move the ball, cut to the middle of the paint, and find those open looks.
Shepherd a little bit short. I think they're going to get Michaela Vaughn on the foul. Well, Notre Dame's men's ice hockey heads to the regional semifinals against Clarkson. You can catch it Friday at 6:30 Eastern on ESPNU and the ESPN app. They are back-to-back Big Ten champs after a win over Penn State here on Saturday. Don't forget to visit NCAA.com, the home for all 90 NCAA championships. After a hot start for Michigan State, they're now 2 of 12. Got a little help from Kayla Beless. She did not play on Saturday.
And that's a good look right there. You get Jenna Allen a little bit of time to rest with the clock running down. They're going to need her to come in the game, but when you have players like Beless that can step in and give you quality minutes, that's big.
There goes Jackie Young. Gets the rebound, dumps it off to Jessica Shepherd. That's the way to end the first 10 minutes. Notre Dame sharing the basketball. Another bucket for Jessica Shepherd down low. They lead 25-14.
Maria Taylor with the studio update. We've got 3 games in action right now. South Dakota State taking on Syracuse, and Lewis with the pull-up J in the Carrier Dome. So far, Syracuse rocking against the Jackrabbits. We'll keep you up to date on every single game, including NC State up 10 already on Kentucky at home.
Maria, thank you. And we talked about those paint points. Notre Dame, 18 points in the paint in the first quarter.
Yeah, 18 points in the paint compared to Michigan State with only 8. But I think some of them are the opportunities they've been able to create from the rebounds.
And Notre Dame +7 on the boards right now. Sydney Cook's in.
Every single time that Michigan State takes their time and gets the ball down low to one of their big players, they score. It's when you start trying to create your own shot that you get into trouble.
But Jenna Allen had a lot of success for Michigan State early on in that first quarter down low.
Yeah, Jenna Allen sitting now with 8 points. Still on the bench, taking a break, but when you have Cooks down low and Beless came in and gave him a quality bucket right off the bat, so you want to go with what's working right now.
Gumbawale at the line, misses the first one. This foul was on Taryn McCutcheon, her first. Gumbawale just 2 points away from 2,500 in her career. Now 1 point away.
Love the patience from Michigan State. Trying to find that open look.
Nia Clouden, the freshman, will take it, and she hits.
Good patience right there. There are plenty of opportunities that some of the players had to be able to shoot, but they're not forcing it. I'm sure that's something that Coach Merchant talked about in the huddle.
Gumbawale coming off the screen. And Michaela Vaughn went up for the rebound. And that's the second foul on Mardrika Cook. She's going to take a seat.
So now they have 2 players that have 2 fouls. Coco Gaines picked up 2 quick fouls in the first quarter.
Jackie Young.
Out of nowhere, able to get that ball. Now let's go back. Jackie Young is the 1 right now. That means she's the point guard on the floor. able to get that rebound.
Belessa's shot off. And there comes Jackie Young out with it again.
She is definitely feeling it today.
Michaela Vaughn with the putback. She had a great game on Saturday.
She did, and it was cool to see her in the press conference, but to hear all of her teammates talking about how well she played, and even for her, she was like, it feels good to have that pat on the back every once in a while. I really want to get back to how I know I can play and what I can bring to this team.
Michigan State, no luck of getting it inside right now. They've been trying. Shea Colley's shot is blocked by Jackie Young.
That's a frustration foul right there. Colley trying to do the step back three with Jackie Young. You cannot shoot the ball over Jackie Young right there. Jackie Young just playing a phenomenal game right here. You see right there, just sneaks in right off the inbound. Nobody boxes her out. She gets the rebound and put back.
11 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists for Jackie Young. We're in the second quarter. What a player. She was the ACC tournament MVP, second team all-ACC selection.
Well, she makes it look so easy, but if you're watching this game and you're watching a player like Jackie Young, it's all the little things that she does. She doesn't do anything fancy. You haven't seen her do anything fancy out here. She's gotten the ball in position, seen the floor, she's gotten to the basket, she's got her pull-up, free throws, of course, and then she's doing all the little things.
We asked Muffet McGraw what her favorite part of Jackie Young's game was. She said rebounding, among many other things. She listed like 5 different things. Jenna Allen back in trouble. Cooks trying to dump it off to Nia Hawley.
That might have been a lucky play right there for the Spartans, but Jenna Allen able to get herself out of that to get the ball reversed to the other side.
That's the first foul on Jackie Young, and it'll be Nia Hawley at the line for Michigan State. Just a 45% free throw shooter. This is the first. Well, coverage of the Division I Men's Basketball Championship Regional Semifinals begins Thursday on CBS and TBS at 7 p.m. For more information on game times and listings, go to ncaa.com. Ogunbowale back in the game for Notre Dame.
And as Young goes to the bench for a little bit of a break, you heard the crowd erupt in cheers, just how well this young lady is playing already.
I mean, hey, we could see another triple-double here. She's got a couple already this season. Boom.
So smooth.
Ogunbowale now has gone over 2,500 points for her career. The first Notre Dame player to do so. She's already their all-time leading scorer, of course. Look at that top 5. She passed Skylar Diggins earlier this season. Some big names on that list for Notre Dame, but Arike Ogunbowale sitting at the top.
And it'll be a long time before somebody is able to catch up. But I don't know, you look at a Jackie Young, never know. Got a lot of points to score now.
A lot of points to score. Skylar Diggins, her name hanging in the rafters here in Purcell Pavilion.
You know, Ogunbowale is such an exciting player to watch, but when we saw how good McCutcheon is on the defensive end, she's got an assignment tonight trying to guard Ogunbowale.
It's hard when you can pass to somebody like Brianna Turner.
I do like that shot right there from Jenna Allen.
What about that one?
I love that shot right there. For Michigan State, they're going to let this game get away from them if they don't start making some baskets. But also in that transition game, Coach Merchant said, I don't necessarily want to run on a made shot. I would rather set it up and get an offensive possession in. If you go try to get a quick shot and you don't make it, this is what happens.
When you have Turner, Shepard, Ogunbowale, those names, man, at it's hard to pick who you're going to key in on. Enrique Agumuwele, the all-time leading scorer, now the very first player in Notre Dame history to go over 2,500 points for her career. Notre Dame up big.
Coming up on the Northwestern Mutual Halftime Report, Maria, Rebecca, and Coach Landers here. We'll have some halftime analysis. What have you seen so far, Coach?
Well, I've seen Notre Dame defensively switch between man and zone. Their zone almost hyperactive, trying to keep the ball out of the middle.
I've seen a young lady named Jackie Young who has more offensive rebounds than the entire Michigan State team.
I see what you did there.
You did?
Not that clever, but cute.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Guys, I think Jackie Young came to play in this game today.
And I would agree with Coach Landers. I mean, you look at what Notre Dame has been able to do. They have switched from the man to the zone and back to the man. They have Michigan State on their heels. They don't even know what to expect.
Well, you can't do that with Jessica Shepard right there.
That's when you would love to have a Brianna Turner on your team where you could lob it up, throw it to the basket. Jessica Shepard, great job.
Shepard's got 10 points, 4 rebounds to go along with it.
Notre Dame does such a good job of switching out their defenses. You never know what they're playing. And Michigan State just continues to struggle.
Unforced turnover right there. That's number 5.
Good defense right there by Jenna Allen. Hand straight up against Shepard.
Jenna Allen started this game really strong. 8 points for her. She's gone kind of quiet. McCutcheon for 3. Taryn McCutcheon doesn't have any points.
Well, that's what happens when you're going against the giants of the Fighting Irish. I mean, they are a big team.
12 points for Jessica Shepard. 15-1 run for Notre Dame right now.
Michigan State, they got to figure out a way to get the ball inside.
Shepard again.
Transition game, that is what Notre Dame, when they are at their best, they are getting those rebounds, they're looking up the floor, 1 through 5, everybody just runs down, straight down the floor, ball comes. That's what their transition break always looks like.
Yeah, Jessica Shepard already with 14 points. She has played really well against this Michigan State team. There's a travel over her career. Remember, Jessica Shepard started her career at Nebraska. Susie Merchant made the comment, we can't get away from Jessica Shepard. She averages 23 points per game against Michigan State and 7.8 rebounds against this Spartan team. The most points she scored against Michigan State, that was 32 back in 2017. Right now she's got 14 to lead Notre Dame.
Well, the cool thing too is you look at that, I mean, do they not do a great job? Brianna Turner sets that up. She does a little spin move, jumps in the air. Ball is in the air. Ball is up in the air right when she jumps. I mean, you can't draw that up. That's just the connection that these two ladies have been able to develop. They are playing phenomenal right now.
And that's what Muffet McGraw talked to us about. She said when the season started, they were still trying to figure out, you know, what the next step was. Now they can see the future, if you will. And it makes a difference with that play right there.
Well, it makes a difference when you know what player where they're going to be at and what they're going to be doing.
Yeah, big 3 from Sydney Cooks. That's the second foul on Shea Cauley.
Michigan State now, number
Enrique does such a good job of kind of setting that play up. I mean, you have a McCutcheon on you right now, and you're trying to get a little bit of space, but she does a really good job of getting herself to the basket, getting that shot.
Well, don't forget, we've got more second-round action for you starting at 9 Eastern. We'll get to see the #1 overall seed in Baylor take on Cal, plus Iowa State and Missouri State and Oregon State and Gonzaga. They survived a close one in the first round. That's all coming up at 9 Eastern as our second round continues. Still trying to send somebody to the Sweet 16. Winner of our game is going to move on to Chicago to face Texas A&M, who took down Marquette yesterday. Abby Prohaska called for the first foul, her first foul.
And it's good to see Prohaska out here. We saw the last game, she didn't really do a good job. She was coming off of a sprained ankle, so not really moving that well. Coach wanted to put her out there just to test her out. You can tell today she looks a lot better. She looks more comfortable.
Yeah, I don't know if you can tell, but this Notre Dame team is a little banged up, actually. Prohaska has the ankle. Then she hurt her thumb on Sunday. Jessica Shepard has strep throat this week. You don't know it because she has 14 points and 4 rebounds. And Marina Mabry tweaked her knee on Monday. She was wearing kind of a bandage, a brace on it on Saturday. Didn't score, and so she is not wearing the brace tonight. And she has scored. She was moving pretty well in practice yesterday, though. Allen in the corner.
Michigan State right now, they cannot buy a basket.
That rebound for Brianna Turner was her 9th in this game, and that puts her ahead of Ruth Riley for all time at Notre Dame, 1,009.
And not only does she have those block shots to go with it, now she has the rebounds, and I can't say enough about Brianna Turner and just how well she has played, and just from last game to today's game, just how active she is. I love watching her play.
Marina Mabry just checked in. She's the all-time leading three-point shooter. Arike Agumbawale, all-time leading points. Brianna Turner, rebounds. You think this team's got a chance to win another national championship?
Anybody else? Anybody else want to get in on this? You got to wonder, though, you watch Michigan State, and after playing against Central Michigan and just the pace of the game, how much they were going up and down the floor, and then we talked about practice yesterday and how intense it was. And then you got to come out here, and so that's basically 3 days in a row you've had to play at the highest level. You got to wonder, legs-wise, if they have the stamina to keep up with it.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever called a game where the first half took 35 minutes to play. We got to halftime of that Central Michigan State game, and we're like, whoa, take a breath here.
Slow down.
That's just the second turnover for Notre Dame. Comes inside a minute left in the second quarter.
And this is the play right here that Michigan State kept running against Central Michigan, able to get them the win. Cannot stop Jackie Young. When she goes right, and with that much speed and intensity, it's hard to stop.
Nia Hawley was called for her first foul. Jackie Young at the line. Michaela Vaughn's going to come back in for Notre Dame. Brianna Turner will get to rest.
What do you think about after the midway through the second quarter, Notre Dame was shooting 77.8%. And right now from the free throw line, they're shooting 71%. So look at that difference.
Wow. It's about a 2-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Cook's coming in.
I like her being aggressive. Ballin already has one foul, not trying to pick up another foul.
Agumbawale at the buzzer. For the first half, 13 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists. And she's had a couple of triple-doubles this season. So just something to keep an eye on.
Triple-double alert.
Triple-double alert. We might have it here. She has 2. Skylar Diggins had 2 in her career. She got 1 here. She would have the most in Notre Dame history. All of them coming this year.
Well, we'll look to see if Notre Dame can keep the pace and keep running. Michigan State struggled to try to find baskets.
Brianna Turner goes up and gets fouled, and Notre Dame, it's no surprise they had a lot of success in the paint in the first half. 32 points in the paint in the first half for Notre Dame.
Well, 32 points in the paint, but I would say the biggest thing right now is rebounds. They have 31 rebounds. Michigan State only sitting with 17 rebounds, 32 rebounds. Michigan State sitting with 17 rebounds. I think that's the biggest difference. They're getting on the board. They're running in transition. Their transition game is allowing them to be able to score down low. But then they're being patient on the offensive end, too, and finding those open looks. See Jessica Shepard getting a couple baskets down low. Enrique in the paint. Jackie Young to the basket. I mean, you can go down the line. Every single player has touched the paint.
Even Marina Mamry drove it in on a layup. We're used to seeing her shoot from the outside.
I think she wanted to get in on the action.
I don't blame her. It looks like fun. Sydney Cooks wants some more points, too. She's up to 11 now to lead Michigan State.
I think that's the best thing that Michigan State can do right now. Is they're not going to be able to score 1 basket and get all these points back, but if you can get some touches down low and you can get your post up, Jenna Allen, get down low. Cook, get down low, post up. They got to stop fouling too. But those are the things, the little things that they can do. And Cook does a great job right here. Take it at Brianna Turner. That is what you have to do against this Notre Dame team. They are known for running and getting up and down the floor, but if you don't have them, they have to exert some energy on the defensive end, but you got to set them up to do that.
Agumbawale at the line after the foul by Taryn McCutcheon, her second. $15 points now for Enrique. State has two good options down low with Jenna Allen and Sydney Cooks.
And that's what you have to do right there. Take the ball down low. You got to work it back. Go inside, then work your game back outside. You're not hitting your shots outside, so stop shooting from the outside and get the ball down low.
First foul on Shepard. Allen in the high post. You know, Susie Merchant told us they've changed a lot of their offense to run it through Jenna Allen in the high post.
Well, because she's so good at seeing the floor, so it's not necessarily about her always getting that shot, but she knows what to do and make sure that the right players are getting the ball.
Travel called on Shepard. Jenna Allen, the senior on this Michigan State team, started out strong in this game. She's up to 10 points, and they'll give it to her again.
Got to be a bounce pass down low. Brianna Turner is way too long. She try to just stick that ball in. Jackie Young, once again, the transition game of Notre Dame, they get out and run off of a turnover, off of a rebound, all of that. They just look up the floor, everybody's sprinting down the floor, and they get these wide open looks.
Yeah, how valuable is it, too? They have post players that are sprinting up and down the floor.
Well, Jessica Shepard, look at her, for instance, and she's lost weight to be able to play and be productive in games like this.
Well, she really took an emphasis in the offseason on working on her conditioning, and she said she just, cut out some of the snacks that weren't as good. Tried to really.
Well, they were still good.
Well, good for you. She tried to focus on nutrition and then also getting in the gym, and it was her idea, and it's paid off.
Yes. Lost 40 pounds. Jenna Allen, strong move. This is her senior year, so you know that in her head she's thinking, what do I have to do to help my team get back in this game? And little by little they can do it. They just have to have defensive stop. And they got to continue to take the ball down low.
Jessica Shepard with 16 points, 8 of 12 from the field. I mean, it's just been incredible to watch her progress this year. And it's all about her putting an emphasis on that conditioning.
For me, I was able to lose about 40 pounds over the course of quite a few months. But definitely just going out to those USA trials, and I talked quite a bit to Coach Reeves, just kind of about what I needed to do to get my body ready for the next level. And I think just getting in good shape was one of the biggest things. So then when I got back to South Bend, just obviously being really focused on what I was eating, just making sure I was doing some extra workouts, cutting out the little snacks that I didn't necessarily need, but I think it's just a lot of little things that really added up.
And she was talking to Coach Cheryl Reeves, was the one she had that conversation with, and it's just been a big transformation for Jessica Shepard, and it's paying off.
And it's always good to see those stories and kind of how players develop with that. I think you look at some players that are in the college game and they say they want to play and they want to make it to the next level, but they're not willing to make the sacrifices, and she's a testament of that.
Yeah, it's incredible the difference between picture on the left is last season and compared to now on the right.
Yeah, big difference. Cutting out those snacks, getting in the gym, doing extra workouts, making a commitment to herself, making a commitment to her team, but also realizing like she wants to play in the WNBA one day or possibly overseas, and having those opportunities, she wanted to control her own destiny for those opportunities.
Mabry's going to give it to her. Oh, Sydney Cook's waiting. And Cauley loses it. This time, Shepard by herself. 18 points now for Jessica Shepard.
Those are hard plays. Michigan State, you can't get those back. Unforced turnovers, trying to do too much. The things that have been successful for them, the things that are working right now are Jenna Allen and Cooks.
That's an offensive foul on Jenna Allen, her second. Notre Dame looking for that spot in the Sweet 16. They're up 62-35.
For the win. 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8.
We had 13 games decided by single digits already in this tournament. The second round has not disappointed. How about Robbie Ryan sinking those game-winning free throws as Arizona State was able to come back and win. And then Chambria Washington hit the game winner. Remember, winner of our game is going to move on to face Texas A&M. It was off of the assist from Kennedy Carter.
Yeah, what a fun game to watch. Everybody just assumed Kennedy Carter was going to take that last shot just because that's what she does. But smart enough to pass the ball. Chambria Washington, hand up, ready, gun loaded, and let it out.
And for those teams in the Portland region, watch out for Sabrina Ionescu, just dropping her 18th triple-double like it's no big deal. She's a great player. Man, I got to see her in person against Oregon State, and I know they lost the second meeting, but man, she's very talented. Wouldn't you like to see if Mississippi State can make it to the Elite Eight, they would meet Oregon possibly? A little rematch action after Oregon beat them in the regular season?
It would be interesting to see. After the game yesterday, I don't know how many text messages I had asking me if I'd ever heard of her, ever seen her play. I've never witnessed her in person, but I've seen her. I've watched some film on her. So
oh, yeah.
excited about seeing where she ends up. Of course, we're still in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, she's definitely a player to watch. If you haven't watched Oregon, got to tune in for Ionescu. Again, winner of this game moving to the Sweet 16 in Chicago, which is not far at all from where we are right now in South Bend. Notre Dame hoping it will be them. Clouden driving into the trees.
Well, you saw Brianna Turner just waiting for her to shoot it.
Well, every team's goal, of course, is to make it to Tampa Bay. Our coverage of the women's Final Four begins Friday, April 5th at 6:30 Eastern on ESPN2 and, of course, the ESPN app. I had somebody ask me today, since the first and second rounds have already been so good, is it just going to keep getting better?
I believe it is. I mean, you look at these teams and how they're playing right now, but it just gets better as you keep moving along. Everybody wants the opportunity to walk home with that hardware. Enrique, one of those players that is not going to be denied once again, coming off the championship round, 2-game winners in last year's championship, or 1-game winner in last year's championship game, and has not disappointed.
18 points for Ogunbowale. That's going to be a foul on Shepard. So we already have a couple of tickets punched to the Sweet 16. Louisville and Mississippi State are in. Mississippi State just dominating Clemson. Wow. UConn is in. Oregon, Iowa, South Carolina, a very close game. But they are moving on.
Yeah, South Carolina really struggled in their game defensively, but able to pull it out. Taya Cooper.
That's Tori Osment with the three, her 12th three-pointer this season.
Well, it's funny, you think about practice yesterday. We watched Michigan State, and she was the player that kept hitting shots in practice.
And just her 19th appearance this season.
I think she had to emulate. I think she might have been Jackie Young. Knocking down shots. Or maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. There's so many options you could choose from.
Which one are you going to be?
3 seconds.
When I grow up, I want to be...
That's going to be a shot clock violation on Notre Dame.
Good defense right there by Michigan State, trying to figure out how to get back in this game. One defensive possession at a time. They have to come down and they have to execute on the offensive end.
Cook's working on Vaughn.
Vaughn with the block.
Wow, the dump off to Brianna Turner.
And Brianna Turner has been a little bit silent tonight. She's still able to get on the scoreboard.
Really? She has a double-double.
But you think about the game on Saturday, just how dominant she was. We kept talking about her over and over again. Jackie Young has come out. She's played amazing tonight. Enrique's done a great job. I mean, we've talked a lot about Jessica Shepard. She's been the quiet one with the double-double, of course.
That's the beauty of this team, is that right now they have 4 players in double figures and not just 10 points. It's 17, a couple of 18s up there. And Brianna Turner was 1 rebound shy of a double-double on Saturday. And Muffet McGraw told us, isn't somebody supposed to tell me that? Like, I would have left her in for 1 more minute.
So she would have looked over here, I would have waved at you.
Yeah.
Osment for another 3.
Osment's dealt with some injuries, missed 10 games with a foot injury back in December through January. And coming into this game, she hadn't scored in the last 5 games.
Well, Ogunbowale with the right back at you.
And then Bellis was just wide open underneath the basket.
Well, I think they were so busy celebrating. That was a great shot. Just got to get back on defense.
travel on Turner.
Allie's trying to make a play.
Notre Dame's going to have time. Here we go, Jackie Young.
Hard foul right there.
Blocking foul on Osment. And Jackie Young is still down.
Well, that's what you have to think about for Notre Dame. Right now they have 2 points from their bench. And their starting five averages double digit. What you have coming in off the bench, you have to wonder, at this point in time in the game, and not that it's over by any means, but as you look at the next round, you can't afford to lose any of your players.
Yeah, you're going to need them moving forward.
That's a hard foul. She might feel that a little bit tomorrow.
Jackie Young now with 18 points, 10 rebounds. She's 3 assists away from a triple-double.
Unbelievable game thus far.
Shot not up in time. Jackie Young has come out from tip and been ready to go in this one. About 18 points for the ACC tournament MVP. And you can't forget about Arike Gumbawale doing her thing with 21. Notre Dame leading big. Allen is the lone senior on this Michigan State team. She doesn't want her career to end just yet. She's leading them with 12 points right now.
And she's doing a little bit of everything today as well. But I think the biggest thing is trying to figure out a way to get her team back in this game. She has been the energizer bunny, the part that has brought this team and kept this team together all year.
One of 13 Michigan State players with over 1,000 points, and her family is here. Her dad, Jeff, on the right, he was her high school coach. They won a couple of state titles together. Her mom, Linda, and then her sister, Jory, was sitting there in the middle. She's going to Indiana next year. Michigan State's got a lot of work to do, though. Notre Dame just being patient.
All right, Brianna Turner. Have not seen her hit that shot today, I don't think. We're so used to seeing her do the lob and get some touches down low. Great look.
Michigan State trying to chip away.
Well,
Sydney Cooks with 13.
You look at this lineup, and Jenna Allen, we just talked about this, is the lone senior on this team. So this is the group that will be coming back and will be allowed to play together. And then, of course, you got some more pieces on the bench. I think you got to be happy if you're Coach Merchant. You got to be excited about where your team is right now, the players that you have. And, of course, Jenna Allen has been that focal point. But you got to be happy about the players that you have coming back for next year.
Sydney Cooks just called for her second foul. And Brianna Turner is going to take a seat with 14 points, 11 rebounds. Her 9th double-double.
Collier struggled shooting today.
Ogunbowale has 23.
And still going.
It was back in the first half that she went over 2,500 points for her career, the only player in Notre Dame history to do so, as she is their all-time leading scorer, right above Skylar Diggins.
And how cool has it been to watch her play and watch her score and her creativity. But, of course, we can't forget about those 2 shots she had last year, leading them into the NCAA Women's Championship. You think about those last second shots. Now, normally somebody will do it 1 time, but to do it 2 times, back-to-back, win a championship, I mean, we saw her everywhere, but a huge tribute to her. And she's just fun to watch.
She's not afraid to take the big shot.
And you like that.
Yeah, I love that.
And you also like the fact that she'll miss a couple shots, but her mentality never changes. She's always got that scorer's mentality instead of Mamba mentality, right?
That's right. You have Enrique. You have Jessica Shepard. You have Brianna Turner. I mean, we can just go down the list. So moving forward, if you're playing Notre Dame, if you're Texas A&M, if they win this game, they'll face Texas A&M in the Sweet 16. What do you do?
Oh, well.
Yeah. That's the question, I guess.
I think the biggest thing is you've got to get Notre Dame to use more of their bench players. Try to get some of those subs in there. But you got to pick your poison, and you think about which poison are you going to, who are you going to help off of? You help off of Mabley, because she's maybe not as the player that is doing as well, but she can knock down 3. So would you rather have a 2 or a 3 sag off the post players? I mean, you literally don't know where to go.
This is what Notre Dame's road would look like if the seeding held true in the tournament. So Texas A&M is already they're in the Sweet 16. They get the winner of this game. If the seeding holds true, then Notre Dame, if they were to win the Sweet 16, would face Stanford, then Louisville, and then Baylor in the title game. And they've already taken care of Louisville this season a couple of times. We saw them in the ACC Tournament Championship game score 72 points in the paint against Louisville, who's the #1 seed in this tournament.
Yeah, they picked Louisville apart. They spread them out. They were patient on defense or on the offensive end. They got the looks they want, but I think the most impressive thing is their transition game, getting up the court, getting on the rebound, or getting on the boards. I mean, they play so well together. That's the thing. Everybody just sprints up the floor, get no transition point.
Well, this starting 5 for Notre Dame has gone over 9,900 points in their career combined. That's more than any starting 5 on the men or women's side. And they could hit 10,000.
I believe it. I believe it. Right there. That's a steal by Shepard. Jackie Young back in the game. 3 assists away from a triple-double. I like this Michigan State team, though. I like the way they look and being able to move forward. And obviously they're having a tough game, but let's not underestimate. This is Notre Dame we're talking about. And we watched last game how they just dismantled team. We watched the Louisville game, the ACC championship game. They dismantled a #1 seed Louisville. So we can't underestimate just how good of a team they are.
Yeah, that's a great point. This is a Michigan State team. Jeez, Jackie Young.
Jeez, Jackie.
Jeez. Michigan State, to your point, Tamika, they've beaten 4 ranked teams, including Oregon, who was #3 at the time when they beat them.
They know how to win big games, and they have players that can win big games. Just tonight is not the night.
These are their wins against ranked teams. #3 Oregon, that was their big win, and they've beaten Iowa, Minnesota, Maryland. They're 4-4 against ranked teams this season. Abby Prohaska just called for her 4th foul. Jackie Young is going to sub out with 21 points, 11 rebounds, 7 assists. Jordan Nixon in the game, #0 in white for Notre Dame for the first time.
And that's the young player that they're trying to develop. Will have some big shoes to fill next year with all the seniors leaving.
Foul on Marina Mabry. Yeah, you wonder what Notre Dame's going to look like next year. They got talent coming in, but you lose 4 starters.
Potentially 5.
Yeah, you don't know if Jackie Young could come out and go ahead and declare for the draft. Beless with the putback.
Way to get in there, get that rebound. Notre Dame, they just keep battling.
Beless was right there to get in that passing lane. But Notre Dame leading it, less than 5 to go. Looking to go to the Sweet 16.
The NCAA Women's Championship is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Let's take a look at today's Capital One rewarding performance. We are going to give this one to Jackie Young. Versatility is the definition of Jackie Young.
Well, you can't say enough about what she's done today and what she's proven to do the whole season long. But you're right, her versatility and what she's been capable of doing right now today on the line for a triple-double. She came ready to play.
Yeah, how about her numbers right now? 21 points, 11 rebounds, 7 assists. She's over on the bench as Notre Dame has a lot of their subs in right now. A big lead.
And 2 blocks.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, and 2 blocks. We can't forget that. Wow.
This is an interesting stat. So Notre Dame had 33 made field goals, 18 assists, 33 field goals.
They're going to get Notre Dame on the travel. Well, the Notre Dame men's ice hockey team heads to the regional semifinals against Clarkson. You can catch it Friday at 6:30 Eastern on ESPNU and the ESPN app. And don't forget, visit NCAA.com, the home for all 90 NCAA championships.
Well, Cook gets another basket down low, sitting at 15 points right now. 7 for 10 from the field goal. She's been a bright light for this Michigan State team, has stayed consistent. And then knocked down her shot.
Yeah, and Sydney Cooks is just a sophomore. She tied her career high on Saturday with 21 points. Had 10 made field goals in that game. That's tied for 3rd most in an NCAA tournament game for Michigan State. And she's been able to build off of that tonight.
Love the hustle right there. Getting on the floor. Hustle plays are what's going to make you win those games.
There's Sydney Cooks again.
Another tough foul right there by Coco Gaines, trying to get in front of Patterson. Can't get there fast enough.
That's the 3rd foul on Coco Gaines. This is Danielle Patterson at the line. 75% free throw shooter. We're going to see Jenna Allen come back in the game, the senior for Michigan State. Comes in along with Claire Hendrickson.
Got to let Jenna Allen continue to play. 3 minutes left, and knowing that this is her senior year, you want to give her every opportunity she can to help this team.
And you can tell talking to her teammates and the coaching staff that this team means so much to her. There was a point later on in the season where she was slumping and she went and apologized to her teammates and told them, I'm doing everything I can to try to get out of this, but I know that we can do this together. And they get to the tournament. And she's been working hard in this game with 12 points.
Well, she's been working hard in both games. And when you are the focal point and teams are keying in on you, you got a lot to put on your shoulders, but Jenna Allen has done a great job of staying positive with this team. I think that's the one thing you can take away too, is her positivity.
.229 remaining in this one, a spot in the Sweet 16 on the line. Continues on this pace, they'll be facing Texas A&M in the Sweet 16. And how about the second round game? It was Chambria, Washington with the go-ahead three-pointer to put the Aggies up, and they would eventually beat Marquette 78-76. The assist coming from Kennedy Carter, who was still outstanding in that game. And these two have a little bit of NCAA tournament history. Of course, Texas A&M, when they won their national title in 2011, that was against Notre Dame. But last year, these teams met in the Sweet 16 also, and it was Notre Dame getting the win.
Well, there's two totally different teams this year, too. I mean, I know you look at the bench for Notre Dame, and a lot of these same players are here, but you look at what Texas A&M has lost, and you gotta love when the bench comes in. You look at the bench, you look at the starters on the bench. When the bench comes in for Notre Dame, able to knock down shot, how exciting is that?
Yeah, everybody just got pumped up for Maureen Butler. Cosgrove.
Everybody's getting a little something. I love the bench right now. I love how excited they are. 'Cause, I mean, that's what the bench has done for them. Time and time again, you look at the Notre Dame bench and how excited they get. Replicated.
Notre Dame has now scored 90 or more points in every postseason game, including their last 6 games overall. Well, SportsCenter tonight after the NCAA women's second round matchups with Steve Levy and John Anderson. Rebecca Lobo is going to join the show to break down the tournament's best so far, plus Russell Westbrook's quest for an incredible third straight triple-double season. And Mel Kiper Jr.'s latest mock draft. SportsCenter, 11 p.m. Eastern on ESPN and the ESPN app. Michigan State has had a really nice season. As you see Jenna Allen's family standing up, the lone senior going out for the final time. Finishes her last game with 12 points and 5 rebounds. She has meant so much to this team. The leader on the floor, the emotional leader, a captain.
Yeah, she's been the heart and soul of Michigan State.
Notre Dame is going to be the one moving on to the Sweet 16 to face Texas A&M. 2 solid home games to open up this tournament for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. And there's a lot of question marks for the other teams facing them moving forward, is how do you stop what Notre Dame has in its starting 5 and the rest of this team?
Well, I think that is something to be answered. And when you watch this team and you look at all the pieces they have in that starting 5, you got to pick your poison. I mean, we've said this all night long. Pick your poison. Who are you going to go with?
Notre Dame is going to its 17th Sweet 16, its 10th straight appearance in the Sweet 16, where they will meet Texas A&M on Saturday.
And you can't say enough about Notre Dame, just how they came out and played today.